So, Ronnie, now after so many of these training camps, I mean, is there anything kind of new to do it, or is it kind of the same old when training camp starts?
I mean, it's always new because you have a new team every year. So just building the chemistry, getting the continuity with the guys is the newest part. But, football, that part never changes.
Ronnie, we know we touched on this a little bit when you re-signed, but think back to where you were a year ago at this time going in, last year of your contract, not knowing what your future would hold. How exciting is it for you to, a year later, be under contract, staying with the Ravens and all that?
I mean, it's very exciting, but I think, going through that last year and talking about this year now, I think I, kind of have the same mindset as, you kind of don't know what's going to happen. And, you just got to be excited and grateful for every day and, be happy about it and, try to make the best out of every moment.
Ronnie, you touched on you don't know what's going to happen, but when you see this roster construction at this point before tomorrow, where is the confidence level on what this team can do?
Very confident. I mean, the sky's the limit on what this team can do. We can do everything we want to do and more, and I feel like, we're very capable and we have the people to do it.
How long did that loss from Buffalo? How long did that linger for you? Did you flush it quickly? Is it still kind of in the back of your head, fueling you? What's kind of your process for that?
I don't think I necessarily flushed it quickly. It's something that took time to process and kind of eat you up throughout the whole off season. But it's motivation nonetheless to use for this season. I think everyone that was part of that team knows how tough that was, and it's only going to make us better.
Ronnie, I think I spotted you did you wear out Jay Glazer in that group this offseason?
Yeah.
Is that the first year that you did that, and what kind of motivated you to, go that approach this offseason?
Yeah, that was the first year I did kind of that approach, and I just think being able to get better at different things and different muscle groups, doing different activities, and I think one of those things like retro wrestling is something that can really help linemen, offensive, defensive linemen, and working in those positions.
Ronnie, I think I saw you working out with Daniel for a portion of the offseason. What have you seen from him in terms of his development, how he's reshaped his body, anything that stuck out?
Daniel's taken, a really tough approach on himself this offseason. He's been working his butt off every day. He's been pushing himself, and I've been very proud of how far he's gotten.
Ronnie, you guys are part of that group of teams that really has a legit chance to go all the way. Is there a certain tone that has to be set starting in camp to kind of, I guess, get on that road of where you want to be to start the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the tone that, we always said, and that's playing like a Raven. That's our motto, and we go out there every day, and that's how we try to compete and execute.
Do some of the additions, like adding D-Hop, adding Jair, does that signal to you how aggressive this front office is trying to be, chasing that Super Bowl goal?
I know Eric's always going to be aggressive trying to chase a goal, and he wants to win just as much as us, and I know he's doing everything he can to make this team as good as he can.
So much continuity on the line, but it looks like maybe Andrew Voorhees for now is certainly slated to be next to you. What is it, when you look at chemistry with the left tackle and left guard, what does that mean trying to build that? What do you have to do?
You have to work a lot of time together. I mean, it takes time, it takes hours, I think. Stuff like that just can't come overnight, or it can't just happen, talking to someone. It takes working together, and it's going to take a lot of reps. And Andrew's a very smart guy, and we talk a lot, and I think we're on the same page about a lot of things.
Ronnie, last year at this time, there were a lot of questions about the O-line replacing 3 starters. Since you do have so much of that continuity coming into this year, how big a difference does that make, and what's your outlook on the potential of this year's unit?
Yeah, it makes a difference that we have that chemistry from last year, but I still think that we still need to push ourselves to be even better. And, just like last year, I have full confidence in the people we're going to have out there.
Ronnie, you've been in this league as long as Derrick Henry has. You've seen him as an opponent, and now he's on your team. What most impresses you about him and his longevity to do what he's doing at this age?
Most impressive me about Derrick is honestly his work ethic. The stuff that no one really sees, the stuff he does to prepare for practice, prepare for games, on and off the field, his diet regimen, those are things that make him what he is.
Ronnie, you spent a few years working with the union. Obviously been a tumultuous couple weeks for the executive leadership at the top. What are you kind of seeing out of the union right now as they look for an interim director, and what are you hearing from some players on this team about their maybe big picture concerns going into some years where you guys are going to be negotiating some big stuff in CBA in the coming years?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had too many talks from players. They know that things are going to be handled, but right now I'm just focused on winning the Super Bowl.
No, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that Lamar is entering year 8 now for him. We've seen him, rush for 1,000 yards. We've seen him throw for 4,000 yards. What do you think is still the trajectory for Lamar?
I couldn't even tell you. I think he kind of makes his own trajectory. He's going to do things week in, week out that we haven't seen before. So it's always surprised the new things he can do and accomplish. And but playing with him for 8 years, I'm not surprised by him always pushing the limits and breaking new boundaries.
When the team sees that he's being left out of some of these top rankings, does that kind of drive you guys even more to want to get that Super Bowl for him, to get him into the respect that he deserves?
I think rankings don't necessarily matter as much to him, and for us, we know what matters for him, and he really just wants to win. So I think for us, our only motivation is just to get him that Super Bowl ring and bring that to Baltimore.
Were you surprised you didn't win MVP?
Very surprised.
Ronnie, I know it's still a ways till the regular season starts, but when you saw the schedule, when you saw the first 4 games, you're seeing, at Buffalo, Detroit, at Kansas City, what was kind of your reaction to that, that start of that regular season?
It is what it is, that's the nature of the game, and it's the nature of the beast. You're going to go against tough opponents here and there, and it's going to come in clusters, and you just kind of have to roll with it, and you got to go with it.
Ryan, do you get a different vibe from this team, given all that you've all been through? Getting so close, not quite getting there. It's the Super Bowl, like you talk about. Is there a different energy, as you approach training camp?
Yeah, I think guys are definitely more hungry. I think it's very more irritable of how far we come and how close we get, but also very positive and confident energy around the building.
Going back to Jameson's question about the start of the season, you guys obviously didn't get out to the start you wanted last year. Is that motivating? Do you feel like, especially in your position group along the line, the continuity there will help you guys get out to a better start this year?
Yeah, I mean, all our goal is to do is win one game at a time, and all our focus is on winning the first game. And we always want to start fast, and we didn't start the way we wanted to last year, but I think always our goal is just to start fast and win every game possible.
Not the oldest guy on the team, but the longest tenured Raven. Were you aware of that, and what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was made aware from my younger teammates, but yeah, it's cool. I never really imagined that being the case, but I think it's very cool. It's a big blessing.
Ronnie, you saw some speaks to what you guys were doing. With TA's in minicamp with the emphasis on the snap operation, 2 steps and kind of call in. How do you expect that to help when you guys get to the regular season, maybe cut down penalties?
I think it's just about the execution, communication, being on the same page, and having the discipline to be on time and be on the right call.
All good? Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie.